Greetings, greetings, greetings. This is Iyanda Siraj, the Eclectic High Priestess, and I am so grateful to be in this space with you today. If you are here, the purpose of this reading today is to perform an ancestral healing with the Akashic records as our medium. So I am going to open this session with a quick prayer to access the Akashic Records before I get into explaining to you exactly what we're going to be doing. So if you just take a moment, connect with the reading if you feel so led to, and we will proceed with the opening prayer. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, and courage to know the truth as it is revealed for our highest good and the good for everyone connected to us. O Holy Spirit of God, help me to know the collective and all those who may seek your guidance in the light of the Akashic Records, to see the collective and all those who may seek your guidance through the eyes of the Lords of the Records, and enable me to share the wisdom and compassion that the masters, teachers, and loved ones have of the collective and those who seek your guidance. The Akashic Records are open. So, in exploring our ancestral lineage, we do begin a journey of freeing ourselves from detrimental ancestral patterns. This is a logical next step for healing work in the records. If you feel like you've been doing the work and you've been reaching blocks still, then maybe it is meant that you tap into this ancestral healing session that we are doing today. Doing ancestral work in the records is also natural and logical because all past and present occurrences, as well as all future probabilities, are held within the Akasha. We're able to explore the true nature of our ancestral lines, release ourselves from inherited patterns of consciousness that are detrimental to our soul's growth, as well as aligning with the highest probabilities of our ancestral lineage in order to assist in its future evolution. So today we are going to explore who your ancestors are, what their distinguishing traits are, to include their soul level purpose, the short and long-term goals of this ancestral line, and then also how the masters, teachers, and loved ones of the Akashic Records view your ancestors, okay? And then we will follow up with the privileges and responsibilities, breaking the responsibilities down into appropriate responsibilities and inappropriate responsibilities that you have adopted in this lifetime, as well as a way to release the inappropriate responsibilities, okay? So we will go through group 1, group 2, and group 3, exploring all of these areas, and we will close with the closing prayer, which will disconnect us from the Akashic record for this session, okay? Let's get started. So for group 1, I assume you've had time to choose your pile. So if you picked group 1 with the honey calcite, I'm already picking up that these were very willful people. They were very proud people, proud of their heritage, proud of the expressions. So I'm getting a lot of ancient garb, ancestral cloth, ancestral clothing, ancestral dress, regardless of the background. It does feel like this is something that this group took a lot of pride in, okay? So let's open up and see what the general energy here and the true nature of this ancestral line is. Rising sun, the divine solar child reborn. Okay, so first off, I'm getting the energy of reincarnation. So this bloodline does continue right now. You are a continuation of this bloodline for sure with this honey calcite here, and I'm feeling very much master healer. I'm feeling topaz. I'm feeling citrine here. So there's a lot of abundance, pride, and also joy. So there is something here about that energy of joy that was very much a part of this this ancestral line. I'm also feeling too that this ancestral line may have dealt with a lot of jealousy or envy. Maybe that was geared towards them, or it is within the ancestral line. Okay. I do feel like this is a special, very special set aside bloodline. Okay. Because I'm hearing the word karmic as well. So there's a lot of karmic energy that has come up against you, or that you have personally had to work through in this lifetime, so as to clear this. And I think that we're diving into the responsibilities here. I'm going to try to keep it into alignment, keep it lined up, organized for you guys. However, it is beneficial that you have a notepad and pen ready if you want to take these notes, just in case the information does channel through a little, you know, less organized than we would want. Okay, so I do get the sense that this ancestral line rules from the solar plexus. This would mean that they are very much willful people. They are confident people. They are boosters of confidence. So I do feel as if this is a spark of the divine, seeds of the divine. Of course, every lineage is going to be a seed of the divine, right? But for whatever reason, this feels like one of those that you guys are illuminators. Okay, this bloodline is a bloodline of illuminators. These may be seers. I also feel like too there is an androgynous energy here. The feminine energy in this ancestral line does carry strong masculine energy in this bloodline. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. River of blessings, releasing constraints. Okay. So the character of this, and another character trait of this ancestral line is that one, while they were responsible people, they were not people who limited what could be for them or what source could do. So they really did believe in that energy of an omnipotent or an all-powerful being. Okay, so this is something that they did believe in. I also pick up too that this ancestral line was very much in altar work or ancestor veneration. So this was something that kept you protected from evil eye, kept whatever this envious energy was that did surround your ancestral line. This river of blessings was something that helped to minimize the negative effects or the negative impact on you personally or for ancestors that came before you. Okay. Aunt Nancy, betrayal. Yeah. So this is a group that could have had betrayals from within the tribe or within the lineage. Remember, we talked about envy and jealousy being an energy here that your ancestral line has had to work through. Now, this could play out as family rivalries within your bloodline, but this could also be an energy of generally showing up in a combative way, in a competitive way, all right, in life. So with Aunt Nancy betrayal showing up here, it does feel as if some of these beings, maybe a small group, rose up against the larger whole within this. So there is something to be said about that. Also, there is huge divinity here. So this ancestral line, like I said before, was very much highlighted by the divine, by spirit. Okay. I also get this feeling of duality. So there is, I heard the word merging. So at this point in your life, you may be seeing a lot of these things that we're speaking about, changing, shifting. You might be seeing polar opposite energies within your family unit to begin to merge, okay? Begin to come into alignment with one another. So that's kind of maybe what you're seeing here. But it does give this sense that there was some type of inward betrayal. It's giving me vibes of groups that sold off other groups, okay? Or groups that betrayed other groups that are within the same ancestral line, all right? Yeah. So let's get in here and see what the tarot cards want to add here before we go through our questions. We have the Seven of Wands. Yeah, we did talk about that energy of competition or things coming up against you because of kind of like who you are or what you're in alignment with. We also have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. I just heard the lyric, I come from a lineage that never ever had to penny pinch. That's a Toby Nigwe lyric. So there is an energy of abundance. Okay, so this bloodline was a revered bloodline. Okay, and they had riches, not only material riches but spiritual riches as well. Okay. We have the Nine of Swords in reverse, clarifying betrayal. Yeah, so it does give me the energy that that energy of betrayal is healing within your bloodline. Whatever family disagreements or things like that took place in your history, it's been repeating because it's a web. It's a web. So whatever this is finally being unraveled. Okay. So let's see what else we have here. Okay, so Trail, Nine of Swords. All right, Cancer energy here. So the mother energy, the moon energy, very much intuitive. And this is clarifying the rising sun. So as we spoke about before, this ancestral line, they are seers or somehow some type of healers. You are heart-led beings. You are activated through the heart. I'm also picking up the crystals of jade, emerald, okay, rose quartz, okay. So a lot of lapis lazuli as well. So there's a lot of heart energy here, a lot of healing, forgiveness, a lot of, like I said, betrayal energy, okay. So with this, you know, it does feel like there's definitely some imbalance of the, oh no, you want to teach me about Celestia. The balance of the man and feminine. Okay, so there's also a dissension between, or a separation between the masculine and feminine energies within this bloodline. Okay. So we talked about the feminine energy being an energy that probably leads with some type of masculine energy or vibration. Okay. So there is something about an imbalance when it comes to the feminine energy. And regardless of how that shows up, I'm hearing the word provision. Okay. So the Cancer or the mother energy is an energy that's highlighted here. So this could have been a matriarchal bloodline. Deacons. All right, with deacons showing up, it does feel like there is a message of galactic influence or galactic lineage. Okay, so because I am working with the Isis deck, obviously Sirius is something that comes up to me, but this could be any type of, because I'm hearing Pleiadian as well, and I'm hearing Lyran as well. So for instance, this is something that had a deep connection with astrology, working with the sun, the moons, the stars, and their cycles. This ancestral line relied upon or stayed in tune with these cycles or systems, and they really did create a lot of abundance in their life or in the bloodline because of this. All right. One more card here in herbalism. Yeah, see, these were shamans, these were seers, these were healers. They were heart-led beings, okay? I'm also picking up, too, that they could have been tied to Wiccan or more earth-focused modalities, okay? Because we have herbs here, so it does feel as if I'm also picking up this energy of individualism as well, because all three of our main cards have a single being in them, as well as a child, of course. But it does feel that there is a individuality that was a standout vibe here. but it was an individual within a network. So the individual was not to oppose the network, but was to enhance the network or strengthen the network by bringing in those elements that that individual embodied fully. Okay. So let's ask our questions here. I think we've kind of talked about the nature of this ancestral line. We are going to find out how the masters, teachers, and loved ones of the Akashic records view this bloodline or this ancestral line. Ten of Swords. They want you to know that it's a time of celebration for your bloodline, because we did talk about working through whatever this emotional trauma was regarding betrayal or regarding motives not aligning as a collective. So you're at the masters, teachers, and loved ones of the Akashic records are saying they view you as people who have paid the price, and now you're in alignment with the blessings that they want to bring with the star card. Yeah, they want to highlight you, whatever this ancestral energy, whatever it was at the very beginning, okay, or far past, many lifetimes ago. This is being reincarnated into this lifetime through you, perhaps, as you're reading this or as you're listening to this reading. Ask your spirit guides, ask your ancestors if indeed you have been chosen to bring this energy back into the bloodline, okay? With the star card here, definitely. See, Page of Pentacles means that you're a teacher or initiate, and you are the holder or the receiver. If you guys haven't, go refer to the movie on Netflix called The Giver, okay? The Giver of Memory. So you are going to bring back or rebirth a certain energy into the world. So the masters, teachers, and loved ones see you all rising again, okay? And that's how it feels. They see you rising again. Now, this could be tied to the matriarchal energy in general that the collective is feeling, but I do feel that specifically your bloodline and the gifts, talents, abilities, and then that energy of being blessed by the sun, because I mean, all of that solar plexus energy really stood out to me. The sun, the moon, the stars, really being attuned to the divinity of the universe. That is what you're bringing back into your bloodline, all right, into your ancestral line. And the master teachers and loved ones not only applaud you, but applaud your ancestors for training you and preparing you for this season of work, okay? So let's see, what else do we have here? We already talked about the responsibilities, and this is your responsibility to bring this back into this reality. All right. How do you? What are some privileges that this group has? Privileges that this group has. Magician. Oh my gosh, you have the power of your ancestors. You have this already activating and reincarnating and bubbling up inside of you. That is the privilege. I also feel too that the privilege is that you already predisposed, meaning that whatever your life, your current life has taken you through, it has already conditioned or prepared you to take on this role as the person who is going to bring forth a new storyline, okay, for your bloodline, for your ancestral group, okay, for your soul group, okay? So that's a beautiful energy. May I have one more card to clarify what the privileges are? Yeah, you have power to navigate any of these earthly situations that you might find yourself in. So you have the power. So we have infinity and infinity. So we have infinity being the inspiration, okay? And then we also have infinity being the present day question or query, all right? Okay, yeah, so you're taking the baton, all right? So boom. So now, so basically the masters, teachers, and loved ones are saying you're up, okay? You are up. It's time. Go time. Now you are up. You are chosen, all right? All right, so that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And the masters, teachers, and loved ones want you to know that they're not handing you a potential. They're handing you a sure thing, okay? All right, and the final question here is how to release, what are some inappropriate, what are some inappropriate responsibilities that we've adopted that we need to release, okay? And then, of course, how to release them. Okay, partnership, needing other people, also how you connect with spirit realm. See, this is something that, so there's some connections, some karmic energy connections, yeah. that are coming due to you that you can skip if you would like. I also feel like too, there's a lot of just in general karmic energy when it comes to relating to others. All right, this is something that you don't have to heal for your bloodline, because the inward betrayal has already been healed, and the outward manifestation of that is just a result of the inward betrayals of the karmic line, or the ancestral line. So that's a beautiful energy. What else are we saying here? Okay, so pride as well. Also teamwork, working together. It's not your responsibility to bring people back together, but to embody the energy, okay? So it's not your responsibility to try to create any type of bonds or anything like that. It's your responsibility to just do the work for yourself, and take the steps that you're guided by these ancestors to take. And this will create alchemy within the bloodline, and it will permeate outward. Exactly, and move the whole bloodline forward just by your actions, okay? Even if it doesn't seem as if the people who are awake and alive in your family now, they may not be the people who follow you, but let's also think of the ancestral group as a soul group. So this would mean that you're meant to alchemize, you're meant to just do this healing journey, take this inner journey for yourself, healing anything that does come to you, if it's family problems and family bickering and things like that. You're meant to handle whichever things come to you in the manner that the divine has assigned for you to handle it. And this is what's going to move you all forward. You will be an example, okay? Yeah, see, then they'll be walking away from the toxicity. They'll be walking away from using their emotions to manipulate others. They'll be walking away from psychic manipulation and using the emotional from unhealthy and toxic manipulations when it comes to the emotions, okay, and the heart. All right, so there is definitely some inward betrayal with this with this bloodline or ancestral line, whether it was inside an individual or within the group. There was a betrayal, and this betrayal manifested outward by having envy and challenge present themselves to the bloodline. Some of the ancestors were not able to overcome this, but you, my dear, have been put into a place where you can do it, okay? All right. So I also feel too that this is there's some race issue here as well. So now whether that's colorism or actual kind of like the racism situation, there's that energy here as well that they want to highlight for you. So the final question of how do you release any inappropriate responsibilities? You release it by focusing on the present moment. If there are past hurts that you've endured, it's best, or it would behoove you to note them, to give them their proper attention that you can, but then to move on and focus on healing the manifestations of this inner betrayal, okay? Addressing that, and this, your own personal work is what's going to be the catalyst for your bloodline, okay? I'm hearing that you may have children, and this is how that is so successful, okay? It's because not only do you do the work, but you teach it to children, and then already you have 2 generations already affected by your work, okay? Alrighty. So for group 1, that is all I have for you. And group 2, we are going to get started. If you chose the black tourmaline, this message is for you. Group 2. All right, so let's look at the general characteristics or traits of this bloodline, their short-term purpose, long-term purpose, as well as who they are in general, okay? So for group 2, you have Spirit of Isis, Triumph of the Goddess, okay? These were warriors. I'm picking up very much warrior energy, a lot of passion, a lot of energy, focused energy towards a goal this group had. I'm also picking up too that they were forerunners, okay? They were forerunners of something, okay? I'm hearing the word poised, okay? I'm also feeling like there's a very sacrificial energy here because we do have the vulture, and it's bringing up the story of how the vulture became the vulture, sacrificing itself to fly up into the sun. All right. So I'm hearing a focus on ascension, a focus on ascension. Okay. All right. Healing earth, the power to give and receive healing. Absolutely. So another powerfully shamanic group. Okay. This group may not necessarily have the clairaudience, claircognizance, clairsentience, but they may be able to wield the power of the elements. Okay, so while as group one did have some natural born like psychic ability, apparently group two has more earth element energy, where they are able to tune into the body, tune into plants, tune into water, okay, tune into fire, and use those modalities. All right, so it is given a similar energy of being very much indigenous, okay, of the earth type of vibe. So I am hearing that this is not necessarily this is not otherworldly or whatever, as group one kind of came off as some type of galactic heritage. This here seems very much earth. Okay, so they are earth forerunners. These people could have been some of the first groups that are recorded of being here. I just heard Celtic, so there's a vibe there of Celtic tribes or Celtic groups being emphasized here. Mama Jumbo, shine. Yeah, so this group was very much these are change agents, and in general they are change agents. I feel this group also did things like sacrificing animals. They also revered trees. Okay, so your ancestry, again, they were very much, I'm hearing Wicca, so they're very much earth-based groups. Okay, this is where they receive their insight. This is where they feel they receive their power. This is where they feel like they are their most powerful, when they are connected with nature. What other traits here? Okay, so lots of healing power when it comes to the hands. So you may be able to manipulate energy with touch. This bloodline may be able to manipulate energy with touch and bring forth change. I'm also hearing that this ancestral line, there is, okay, so they're guiding you to a specific thing. So what is it that you're shining your light on for this group? Okay. Lilith, yeah, the dark. Okay, yeah, the dark moon. Definitely giving me some witchy vibes. Okay, we have Lilith here. So again, another energy of the feminine aspect or the shadow aspect being highlighted. All right, I'm hearing the word animates. Animate. You animate. Bring things to life. All right. Yeah, so there's still a lot of hidden abilities, unlocked capacities here with this ancestral group. I'm also picking up too that, you know, over time this has been the case, where initiates in this ancestral line, initiates to positions of authority into the earth, Gaia, you know, into Gaia's medicine, initiates into that have often failed in your bloodline, meaning that they've only partially activated your ancestors' magic into this reality, into this time. All right, so it's only partially here. They've remained cloaked. Their energy, their presence have remained cloaked. And this could be for a positive or a negative, but we don't know yet. We'll see, I guess, as we go on. All right. This group could have also had the gift of telepathy, or to project their subconscious out into the world. So they would have been powerful manifestors as well. However, it does feel like they were manifesting negative energy or dark energy for a long time, for centuries and lifetimes. They were manifesting, using their manifestation to manifest. Actually, they were using their manifestation energy, and the place that they were manifesting from was lower vibration or of the darkness. Okay. Yeah. See, banish. So yeah. So there's this energy that is being banished in your bloodline, or it says there is a specific there's a specific ancestor who created an energy in your timeline or in your ancestral line. All right. So there is a specific person. Now, this person themselves could have a banished energy, especially, excuse me, a banished type of energy, especially if they were abusing the power that was given to them by the ancestors, by their ancestors. With the banished energy here, I do feel too that you guys do have the ability to conjure. Okay, conjure. So any type of conjure work, whether you're conjuring spirit or whether you're conjuring energy to empower rituals and things like that, this is something that is prevalent in your bloodline or your ancestral line. I get the feeling that like spell work, voodoo, whatever the group is, I'm not sure because we have so many, varied backgrounds, but it does feel like that there has been a pattern of using their gifts for dark magic. Okay, so this ancestral line may be healing that. Let's see what the tarot wants to add to this message. We have the Chariot. Yeah, again, so this pattern or this ancestral group, as opposed to progressing the lineage with this, they chose darkness. They chose to serve their lower vibration, serve their root chakra, serve their sacral chakra in its lower vibration. Okay, so this is a path. So now there is an opportunity, it seems like, for the light, for the current driver of this vehicle or this ancestral line to shift that dynamic over to light, or to bring better balance to whereas light and dark can be in balance. All right. We have the Magician in reverse. Absolutely. There's definitely, I'm also picking up too that you this bloodline could, I feel like you guys are the wielders of this dark magic. Because the Magician in reverse would indicate manipulations or misusing power. All right. So with it paired with banish and the ability to give and receive healing, it seems that this is the direction that we're moving in. Okay. Okay. So this last card is the Hanged Man. Okay. Yeah. So basically, as I said, this ancestral group or this soul group has been stunted or blocked for some time because of this. And there is a new being, perhaps you that are here watching this video, that are now typed into divine, into you've been assigned a light worker duty, which is meant to clear the karmic energy from the misuse of magic, misuse of the spirit realm and the partnerships that they've made in the spirit realm. Whatever that misuse was, this is being shifted with the Hanged Man here and the shine. There's an illumination that's taking place at this current time. All right. So let's get some cards to see what we've answered most of the questions. Let's see what how the ancestors, teachers, masters, teachers, loved ones, how the masters, teachers, loved ones see this ancestral group or this soul group. How do the masters, teachers, and loved ones view this group? Knight of Swords. They view this group as a bit reckless and flighty. Reckless, flighty, emotionally driven, focused on success or being the dominator. So Yeah, so while the masters, teachers, and loved ones do feel like you have a very that you all are very powerful and you have much potential in this world, they do feel like that the attention, that the motive of this ancestral group has always been of a lower vibration, okay? Not to bring forth healing or transformation, but to bring forth something for the individual, okay? And that is what we have here. So it's a pattern here. The Knight of Swords, the Knight of Wands, and the Six of Wands, focused on yourself, taking action that is minimal planning, not thinking about the long-term results or outcomes, as well as not focusing on highlighting the ancestral line or the soul group, okay? While this highlighting is about to happen, the masters, teachers, and loved ones are saying that this is how the view that they've held for some time, or this is how this ancestral group has shown up for some time. All right, so now we're going to ask about the privileges and responsibilities. Privileges and responsibilities. Privileges is that there is a deep connection to spirit. Privileges also that there was a fairly tight-knit community. There was a fairly tight-knit community or collective. I also feel too that one of the strengths or the privileges is that information is shared, okay? It is shared. Now, how it's shared is probably the question, but one of the privileges of being in this bloodline is that this information and this power is most definitely shared down through the generations, okay? So this is something where, you know, this group knows who they are as you know, karmic energy, as whatever change agents, as magicians, as witches, as whatever the case may be, warlocks. They pass this information, they teach it, they keep it tied into the energy. So the moment that this light energy is activated, this is going to be very powerful for someone, for the future of this line. Okay, so as the dark has always been strong, as this light is activated, it's going to really bring forth a lot of change for this family line, but also, you know, a lot of healing, you know, regarding inner wounds and things like that deep rooted, the way that they use their faculties, their psychic faculties, or their connection to spirit. What are the privileges here? What are the privileges here? The privileges of this bloodline or this ancestral group. Page of Swords. Again, they keep the connection tight. Page of Swords would say they also watch very closely their initiates. They guide and protect their students, their new children, the young people who are coming in under this bloodline. They are brought in and taught and given the wisdom, given all of this, okay? So that is also a privilege. Now, one of the responsibilities that you have is to research the history and how things have been done before, because in order to make a change, you have to know what was in place before, okay? You have to know what was taking place before in order to activate change. So yeah, and the Wheel of Fortune, okay? So your responsibility is not only to continue the work that has been passed down to you, but to bring light to that work, okay? To bring light to that work. So see how in this card here, this is kind of like a gray or blackish shadow that's coming up to meet her. And then she also has the white shadow coming up to meet her. That is this perfect balance of bringing forth what has been and infusing what is to be. And you are the one who's going to wield this. You are the one that's riding this wheel right now, calibrating this dark and light energy for your bloodline. So how do we let go of any inappropriate responsibilities? I feel like inappropriate responsibilities might be that one, children are brought into practice of the dark arts too soon, which makes them vulnerable to inception. It makes them vulnerable to possession, okay? Because the faculties of children are more playful, trusting, they may not have the discernment to wield this power properly. So one of the inappropriate responsibilities is that you were given power at a very young age, and you were giving that dark influence over that power. So that's an inappropriate responsibility here, and we don't want to repeat that pattern. So if you have children, it's important that you are balanced in how you use the dark and the light, so that you can teach them going forward how to do that, so that they're not swept up in the light wholly, and they're not swept up in the dark wholly, because it's part of your ancestral pattern or your ancestral plan for you guys to be mediums between dark and light. Okay, so how are we going to detach from that? King of Cups. Yeah, just connect more to the light. Come on in. Use your intuitive abilities. Figure out what those inner wounds were in your ancestral lineage, and find people that you can assist in healing that, if that aspect has already been healed in you as an individual. Okay, so whatever those ancestral patterns are, if you feel that that is something that you've already accomplished or mastered, it's time to find other people who you can help heal. This is going to balance not only your personal karma or the karma that you came into this life with, but the ancestral pattern of dark work. Okay. Yeah, Five of Cups in reverse. Yeah, so no crying over spilled milk, but you're going to help to heal or clean up some of the past karmic energy. You may be in a position to be a healer. You may be in a position to provide a safety net for others, guardianship for others. And this is part of the plan to balance out this karma for your bloodline. I'm so grateful for those messages for group 2. Thank you so much. And we will be moving on to group 3. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, so group 3, if you chose this cowrie shell, then we are going to dive in. Group 3. Here we go. So general traits and characteristics of this bloodline, or this ancestral group. We're going to begin with talismans of potency, charging sacred objects of power. Okay, so the knot of Isis that she has on her neck, that's actually standing out to me. So there could be specific symbols or talismans that this group did wear. I am picking up on things like face paintings or markings, skin markings, permanent scarring, genital mutilation. I'm also picking up on, what's the other word? Okay, they just say gluttony, but I'm picking up on kind of like practices too that they do. Status symbols. Okay, status symbols would have been a very prominent thing with this ancestral group. How they wore their hair, or what type of clothes, what colors, all these types of things were very much prominent in this group. There's very much a caste system or some type of hierarchy that put people into their proper positions or their place in the society. Cobra energy. I'm not sure what that represents, but that's what's standing out to me. Some of you may have a cobra as a family totem. So look into that to see if that fits for you all. I'm also picking up black hawk energy. So that might also be a talisman, not a talisman, but an spirit animal or guide that you all work with. Characteristics of this group. I'm picking up a very gypsy like vibe. Okay, so adornments would be very important to this group. Okay, I'm also hearing that sensuality and femininity in general would have been highlighted in this. So when I say femininity, there was a lot of influence on dance, creativity, flow, and cycles. Okay, summoning power, instincts, intellect, and control. Yeah, so this group, there's definitely items, animals. I also pick up too that you guys also may have worked very closely with familiars. A familiar is an animal, bird, insect that is tied to you. This is where you draw your intuitive power from, or the it is also a companion on your spiritual journey. It's also qualities that you embody on your spiritual journey. So, yeah. So not only just that spirit animal energy, but that energy of having a familiar, okay, that works with you when it comes to your spiritual capacities or your life purpose in general, helping to unfold it. These are where power were drawn from. There's a lot of emphasis on that. Radical rebirth with Mbuya Nahanda. Okay, radical rebirth. All right. So there's emphasis on the two dogs, two cats here. So there's a lot of primordial energy here. I am also obviously picking up about the feminine energy, but because the decks are feminine in nature, that could be speaking to more about the characteristics, the feminine characteristics of receptivity, intuition, flow, creation, instinct. Okay, so all of these energies here are saying that there is very much a connection to the moon and feminine energy. All right. Look at that. Both of them are in a stance. So this group could have worked very much with the energy of possession. Okay. Drawing down energy from the moon. Okay. Also feel too that there is a crown energy. She's creating a crown. You guys can't see my card. She's creating a crown here, not only with this design behind her, but also with her hands. She's also doing the same thing with the moon behind her, with the deer antler, okay? She's also doing the same thing of drawing down power. Let's not forget to mention that she has something in her hand that she's using to draw down the power, as well as this beautiful goddess as well. Has, it looks like an amethyst piece with feathers, ancestral feathers, kind of like on a staff. All right, so this is definitely meaning that there is some type of, I mean, not just a talisman, but something that is tangible that that you're using to draw down power. Now this could be a family relic or heirloom. Okay, so maybe look for that. Excuse me. I'm also hearing waist beads. Waist beads could be some type of thing that is a talisman or used to draw in power. Ace of Swords in reverse. Look at that. Fibonacci, okay? Fibonacci in reverse. All right, so talismans of potency. Some of these ancestors are highly intellectual, or they increase their intellect by way of working with these different mediums, whether it was with familiars or with a talisman. Okay, this group was very much aligned with signs, omens, and symbols. Knight of Swords in reverse. I also feel too with this, this would tell me that there is a slow pace to things. They're not very hasty. This group was very much, again, with the seasons, all right? They knew that there was a time for everything. I also feel like too, the divine calculation or surrender to the divine is highlighted here with this group. Also feel like they did not lean to their own understanding of things. Okay, so there was some type of, the word cult is coming up. I'm not getting a negative connotation, but there was some type of hive mind or collective thinking that governed this group. Okay, there was not necessarily individual ideologies, but more so a collective group of energy that worked together to ascend. All right, to further the family or the bloodline. And we have the Lovers here. Okay, I'm also picking up on this group could have been a group that practiced arranged marriage, or that was a normal thing in their society, arranged marriage. So some of this were individual thoughts and individual destiny didn't seem like it was something that played very well with this group. Okay, individual destiny particularly. There was a lot of focus on how your gifts, talents fed the collective of people. All right. I also pick up too that this bloodline could, there's a lot of emphasis on procreation. Okay, so this could be something where this group doesn't believe in terminating pregnancies. They don't believe in birth control or anything like that. They leave that kind of thing in the hands of the divine, which is beautiful. I also feel too that this could be a group that has androgynous energy, or has highlighted the dual spirit energy. So an energy that could manifest as bisexual, or trans, or anything like that. Okay, that androgynous, bisexual, trans, those types of energies seem like they did have a place in this society. I'm saying that they had a place in the society. They had a set place, meaning they could have been ostracized or set apart, but they still were respected as a group. Okay. All right. So that's that. What else? We have block and fortune. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Huh. Okay, so hive mind, hive mentality, talismans of potency. I am picking up cultish energy here, okay? I'm picking up that anything that was not in alignment with what this group did agree upon, or the solutions that they found to deal with problems. If you were in disagreement or opposition, you could have found yourself on the outside of this society. Okay, so I feel that this group didn't necessarily leave much room for the artist, the individual, the creative. Okay, and this could be something that you are here to change. With the Port of Fortune showing up, I do feel like there is some destined or opportune energy here. Okay, so get into this, figure out kind of like what this blockage about individuality or individual thought, okay, new thought forms. All right, so whatever this aversion to new thought forms is, this is something that you are helping to block or cast out of your bloodline. You're here to stop this. Okay, the continuation of this. It's basically it's survival, or based in just kind of like what worked once. It probably still works, but it just feels like something that was based in this works, so why change it? Okay, and you're here to change that. All right, so let's get into figuring out how the masters, teachers, and loved ones view this group or this ancestral line. The Moon card. Okay, they feel like this group is still very, very much unawakened, or a little bit maybe behind. And I don't mean to say that because it's not a competition, but they're saying that there are still lots of illusions, delusions, a lot of confusions, distractions with this group. Okay. Yeah. Ten of Swords and the Chariot showing up, saying that there is something that's blocking them from this progression. There is abundance that they sabotage. Okay, so this bloodline has sabotaged some things that were destined for the family, for the soul group. Okay, what else is this? Tell me what this Two of Swords is. Ten of Cups. Okay, yeah. So there is a message of, if the individuals are able to be free and fulfilled and happy, it serves the collective better than ostracizing them and cutting them out. Okay. It serves, these people are a gift to your community, to your bloodline, to your tribe, to your soul group. Whoever these outsiders are, these people who are bringing in new thoughts, okay, who are seeded with this new thought, I should say. These are people, this is a gift to your ancestry. This is a gift to your bloodline, all right? Some karmic balancing of some sort. The Ace of Swords in reverse with the Two of Swords upright, meaning that whatever this is that has been offered to the group many times has often been overlooked, or the group just didn't know what to do with it. It was not understood. The message was not translated properly, okay? So, excuse me. Privileges is that the divine is still offering opportunities. That's one of the privileges here, that the divine is still offering opportunity for this bloodline to come through. I'm picking up that somebody could have a son. They don't want it, but they could have a son. They could be having a son and they don't necessarily want it or not particularly happy about it, but this is a gift to the bloodline. Why so? Why is that a gift to the bloodline? This child, this one unwanted child. Why is this a gift to the bloodline? Who is the child? Yeah, Ace of Cups again. That definitely, wow. I just heard airbender, but this elemental energy, this child unlocks the fortune. This child unlocks the fortune, or solidifies a collective agreement, or creates some kind of collective agreement of peace to the group, okay? Yeah, Page of Cups, apology, making things right, making amends. So this child is it feels like a karmic child, a child birthed or created to bring forth change. This child is going to challenge a lot of things, not just in their upbringing while you are raising them or while they are being raised, but as they move out into elementary school, middle school, high school, this child is a change agent themselves, okay? And again, this child might have, might be their sexual orientation or their interests in this realm may be outside of the box when it comes to this soul group, okay? Anything else, Spirit, that you want to add to this reading? Okay, appropriate responsibilities. One is to definitely, someone has a responsibility to birth a child, to raise a child with acceptance and love for who they are and whatever choices that they make, okay? I do feel as if, you know, there is a healing energy to heal rejected children, especially if they're rejected because of their orientation, okay, or their individual expression of self. So that's an appropriate responsibility, is to be that agent of healing by offering acceptance to the discarded or the discarded or rejected. Are there any inappropriate responsibilities here? Inappropriate responsibilities that this group needs to be aware of and release? Inappropriate responsibilities. Knight of Cups. There's an energy of not being by yourself. Okay, so yeah. So there's definitely something here about not being by yourself. The Four of Swords, saying that you are safe, you are held, you are nurtured, you're cared for. So it's not necessarily a responsibility, but the inappropriate responsibility that we are highlighting is that one, you don't have to do it alone, although you are an individual and you are standing true in your individuality in this lifetime. You don't have to do it alone. You can connect with with other light beings, okay? Reflections of who you are, of yourself. I also pick up too, you don't have to live any specific type of life to change this dynamic, okay? So some of you may be binding yourself into certain lifestyles, agreements, work situations, relationships because of what you think you're supposed to do in this reality. For instance, if you come from a family that divorce is highlighted in, then what you think is that you need to find a spouse and you need to stay married to them no matter what. You can't get a divorce. So that's an example of what an inappropriate responsibility is. By no means does your personal life have to be an opposite to the past in order for you to be the change agent, okay? I hope that made sense. Some changes are obviously going to be required, but it's not required that you restrict yourselves so immensely with the idea that you're not going to repeat the old patterns that the other people did. So that's basically an inappropriate responsibility. Do not restrict your life to the umpteenth degree just so that you can heal. You can be the healer of this situation, okay? True healing comes from living your life in alignment with what you know to be true and right, okay? Yeah. And I'm hearing too, this battle you don't have to fight. Spirit said, this battle you don't have to fight. With the Four of Swords, you know, nurse your own wounds, heal yourself, spend time with yourself, disconnect from any groups or beings that won't let you focus on those things when you need to focus on them. And that's that, okay? The divine is holding you, is creating this, has created some type of nest for you, all right? And that means that you don't have to worry. All right? So that is all I have for you guys. Let us go ahead and move forward with the closing prayer. Close up these Akashic records so that you guys can continue on your healing journey. I would like to thank the masters, teachers, and loved ones for their love and compassion. I would like to thank the lords of the Akashic records for their point of view. And I would like to thank the Holy Spirit of light for all knowledge and healing that came through this session. The records are now closed. The records are now closed. The records are now closed. Amen, amen, and amen. So you may feel like you're still receiving information after this session. That's because we've kind of turned off the tap, but your pipeline is still open. If you feel like you're receiving information that you can't translate or feels unsettling, repeat this closing prayer that I've just said so that you can close that out. If you find yourself thinking or worrying about these situations that we've talked about after this, then go ahead and repeat that closing prayer that I just stated and move forward with that, okay? So thank you so much for allowing me to be with you today. I hope that you found understanding, clarity, and healing in this space. That is my intention. Thank you so much. If you are in the market for healing services, Reiki, tarot readings, coaching, herbal remedies, beauty remedies, give me a hit on my line. www.IyandaSiraj is in the booking below, or sorry, in the description box below. And that's all I've got for you guys. Peace.